I'm Joshua Hayward, and thanks for joining me for life readings this week in the stars and cards. And let me extend an invitation to you to join me each week as I explore all the possibilities and the challenges and the opportunities for inward growth and outward effectiveness. And this is brought to you by Breath of Life School in Yellow Springs, Ohio, and many blessings. Enjoy. First of all, let me apologize to you for missing last week's episode of This Week in the Stars and Cards. I was traveling. Okay, so now let's just get down to it for this week. And this is the week that begins on Sunday, November 14th. In the last episode, we were talking about that new moon in Scorpio. A couple weeks later now, the moon has waxed full. And so we're looking at, on Friday the 19th, the moon really waxing to that full moon. And not only will it be a full moon, but it will be a lunar eclipse at 27 degrees of Taurus. Okay, so the sun will be at 27 Scorpio and the moon at 27 Taurus. And this is the first, of course, of two eclipses. We've got one coming up in a couple of weeks, and that's going to be at 12 degrees Sagittarius, right on the ascendant of the United States natal chart. So we're gonna cover that later, a little foreshadowing, a little taste of things to come. And just to remind you that if you haven't watched my stuff before, if you aren't really super familiar with astrology and eclipses, that the 2 weeks between the two eclipses are really a pregnant time of possibility where you get to really work on yourself. The things that come to you are so perfect. You get exactly what you're needing in order to transform and to move into a completely, remember it's an eclipse, so you're seeing things in a new way. That's the metaphor. That can be the reality. So let's just mention that right out of the gate here. So this sun in Scorpio, moon in Taurus, full there, okay, and that eclipse also comes now with a square to the both of those, the sun and the moon on a square, forming a T-square to the planet Jupiter and the sign of Aquarius. So this is that time of transformation and moving from something into something else, that moon in Taurus, beginning to relate on that harvest moon level, the Taurus being that fixed earth sign, very powerful earth sign. So Taurus is the sign of having, and Scorpio is the sign of transforming, sort of killing and rebirthing, like sort of experiencing something intense. And then so you want to manifest and you want to bring it in. So it's that moon of harvesting the transformation of your life that's been happening for quite some time now, in terms of the last couple of eclipses. We're moving to this pair. So it's a new phase of life entering these holidays. And as you move into Thanksgiving, it's really a nice idea to embrace what you have and to be able to see what you can have and pull that in. The T-square, which makes it difficult or maybe even really exciting and powerful, the handle of that is Jupiter in Aquarius. So that's that sign of imagination and inspiration and expansion and that kind of thing, with Jupiter in Aquarius, of, you know, connecting with other people. Also the idea of, if you're looking at being here and you know, and manifesting and being in the physical world with Taurus, what are your possibilities? Independence, interdependence, individuality, the ability to connect with groups to achieve the goals that you want. Hopefully the goals that you really want are peace, joy, love, those things that we get by being in the body here on the planet. When Christ consciousness opens in our heart and says, here, you can have this. So it's juicy. So that's kind of cool, huh? You know, but you got to really bring it in terms of your imagination and in terms of that inspiration, letting that come, and letting circumstances be what they are so you can see what those opportunities are. Certainly, you know, we want to achieve things in the outer world. We want to, you know, have our relationship evolve into maybe being more happy, or maybe getting a relationship, maybe getting opportunities in business, family opportunities, stuff like that. A lot of these things can be distractions, so that's another thing with that Jupiter there in Aquarius. So many things are possible, so narrowing down and accepting the possibilities and being able to choose and accept what's really true for you. Another thing that I see happening at that particular point in time is Mars is opposing Uranus, and Uranus is in Taurus, and Mars is in Scorpio, and I can't remember the exact degrees, they're somewhere around 12, but they're really kind of an exact opposition at this time, during this week, and at that time of this lunar eclipse in Taurus. They don't line up exactly with the sun and the moon, but that's there. And so there's some real intensity happening there. You might have some, well, who knows what might occur in your own life, but their ego identities with Mars clashing with other people's ego identities, that causing turmoil, and it's kind of an explosive opposition. So this lunar eclipse comes with so much going on, you know, and that can happen with your friends and family, but that could be just in the context of the greater society with so much conflict going on right now. But watching the ego and watching what the ego identity intensely desires that may not really be right, that could be projected on you, or you could be projecting on someone else with these energies. So, wow, okay. I'm going to move to the next. Just giving you, just giving you the possibilities, and what's actually there. All right, now another thing that's happening is Venus. I believe it's at 12. Yeah, I believe it's at 12 Capricorn, and Uranus being at 12 Taurus. That's an exact trine. So, new love, this week. Some kind of change, approaching love in a different way. Okay, so we've got the past eclipsing, and we've got possibilities, wanting to manifest. Open your heart. Okay, let's look at the cards real quick, and let's see what this eclipse is about. And remember, we're setting up for a couple of weeks for the next eclipse. We'll let you in on that sometime soon. Got a couple of weeks to let things unfold here. The first card is the Prince of Wands. And princes are always making changes. This is an energetic change in the way things are happening. In other words, some opportunity to make change. And not theoretical change, but to actually get moving forward in the world, okay? So the Prince of Wands. Now that has to do with male energy, whether it be in whichever body. I keep saying this week after week, it's really more about that assertive energy. So it doesn't matter who you are, this card does apply to you. All right, now the second of what's probably going to be 6 cards, I'm sorry. Okay, here's the next one. And this card is the teacher, the Hierophant, or wisdom. And Taurus actually rules this card. The letter right here, Vav, you can't see it because it's too small, but that means a nail, and it means joining, and that joining in the heart. You can see the son of Isis and Osiris, Horus, which equals Jesus in a way, translating from the Egyptian story to the story from the New Testament of Jesus the Nazarene. So anyway, that's getting a little esoteric, but to me this means that Christ consciousness needs to be present here. There's something happening, opening to wisdom, moving with some different powerful energies. And you're maybe looking for some lessons, or maybe that you've already got it and you're moving with the wisdom that is inside you. But to stay open to that Christ consciousness, to stay open to the story of the Nazarene as we move into the holidays here, as we move into Hanukkah, Christmas, New Year. I didn't forget Thanksgiving. But that whole Christmas spirit here of seeing really incredible possibilities as we move into this holiday season. Going with the third card, and this is also a Wands card. We have the Prince of Wands, and this is the Nine of Wands, which is the strength, which is sort of an emotional and a mental strength and knowingness that you've got the strength and the wisdom to make some changes in the way you do things, or to recognize that that's happening and to get on that chariot. Okay? The strength. And it's not, once again, not theoretical strength. It's energetic strength. Okay? It's talking about movement, stuff like that. Another card which goes with the Prince, another Wands card. A lot of, see, 3 out of 4 cards now fire. This is the Princess of Wands, and sort of a consort of the Prince. And so taking it a little bit farther and being very energetic, a lot of charisma, and making things happen, not just getting change, but having change manifest in a real grounded, earthy way. Don't be afraid to play this week. Everybody's been so serious, for a long time with good reasons, but things are changing right now. Moving into your own heart and realizing that you are blessed and you have every right to have the full life that you want to have. All right, and I'm going to move into the 5th card. And so there's always one card, at least almost always one card that seems to be blocking or something to deal with. This is the 8 of Swords, the mind here, a little bit fire and air combusting. What the Hierophant wants to do is to blow up those interfering energies. Don't look outside yourself, look inside your heart. Jupiter's in Gemini in this card. There's a tendency to look too far outside and thus open up to get interfered with. So remember that Hierophant teacher card, that wisdom, coming back into the heart. One more card for this week. And the Princess of Cups, another double princess week. This is the Princess of Cups, which has to do with water, emotion, feeling, inspiration. This is channeling in beauty. There's people, don't close down to people. Have the strength to be able to deal with what's there, but deal with things on spiritual terms from your heart, and be creative. And there's love in the making here possibly this week too, with these court cards. There's people around. Don't turn your back on what's going on, but come from your center. Okay. And really adding creativity and inspiration to your work, to your relationships this week. Bring that in, and you're looking at 2 weeks of gestating these energies and making them yours, and then moving on. So, okay, that's it. This is Joshua Hayward. Thanks for joining me today.